Yes.
Okay, so this is Suchita from Learn French by Suchita, your French language instructor, back with a new webinar on everything about TEF, TCF, TCFQ or TEFAQ examination. I would be guiding you each and everything about the examination. Whatever questions you have, please keep for the end because I will be taking all your personal questions, everything I will be taking at the end. Okay, so let's just start with the webinar. First, I would be guiding you what all we will be covering in the webinar today. Okay, so number one, I would be taking up the importance of TEF or TCF examination. Number two, why you should take this TEF examination. Number three, what are the different types of examination like TEF, TCF, TCFQ, TEFAQ? What are the different types of examination? And then what is the difference between all these examinations? Number four, we'll be taking up what is the examination structure. Number four, there are, principally there are two different examinations. One is DELF, another is TEF. So what is the difference between these two categories? What is the difference between DELF, DALF, and TEF, TEFAQ, TCFQ, TEFAQ examination? What is the difference between these two broad categories? Then we will be looking at what is the procedure of giving the examination, TEF or TCF examination in India, and what are the different centers where you can apply for this examination. Next, in India specifically. Next, how many points you can earn for Canadian PR if you're applying for immigration to Canada? How many points you can earn by giving TEF or TCF examination? Next, how long does it clear? How long does it take to clear TEF or TCF examination? In the sense, how many months of studies is required to if you want to clear this examination with good points? Next, how should you prepare for this examination? Lastly, we'll look at who all should give this examination. That means this examination can benefit what all categories of people. And in the last, I will be taking all your questions. So basically in the last, it would be a doubt clearing sessions. It would be a doubt clearing session. So let's just begin with the webinar. We'll be looking at the importance of TEF or TCF examination. We'll be looking at what is the importance of TEF or TCF examination. So basically, there are so many job opportunities, there are so many employment opportunities which open up if you know the French language. See, but let's say you know the French language, but the other person, he or she doesn't know that you know that particular language. So what happens? You need a particular certification to show your employer that you know that language in terms of reading, in terms of listening, reading, listening, speaking, and writing. These are the four areas of any language: LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So any good proficiency test which is recognized globally that assesses you on all the four levels: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And if you score good in all the four levels, that means you can show that certificate to your employer. And supposingly there are two candidates who have applied for the same job opportunity. One who knows I would not say that only the French language, but any foreign language, if you know, that puts you ahead of others in any employment opportunity that you are applying for. So there is a candidate who knows a foreign language, there is a foreign candidate, there is a candidate who doesn't know it. So of course, the person who knows it has better chances of being selected. So there are so many French language proficiency tests. I'm not audible. There is one person who is saying that I'm not audible. Just let me know in the chat section if I'm not audible. Yeah, so I'm audible clearly. The person who is joined by the name of Redmi Note 7 Pro, please check. There must be a problem from your end. Okay. Now, the next thing, see, there are so many French language proficiency tests available: DILF, DELF, DALF, TEF, TCF, TCFQ, TEF Canada. So many are there. Depending upon what is your purpose, and basically you want, like for example, you are applying for Canadian immigration, there is X examination. You are applying for French language, France citizenship, there is Y examination. If you want to apply for any job opportunity, then you have Z examination. So different examination depending upon what is your purpose. So first, you need to decide what is your purpose of learning French language. According to that, you need to prepare for your examination. So this was the importance. Next, what is TEF? So if I tell you the full form of TEF, that's Test d'évaluation de français. Now it's a test, of course, which evaluates a particular person on his or her French language skills. How well do you read it? How well do you write it? How well do you listen to it? So basically on all the 4 aspects, you are judged. Just like IELTS. Like for IELTS, you are judged on all the 4 aspects for English, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So this is exactly similar to IELTS, but IELTS is for English, this is for French. Now, this examination was started by Paris, Île-de-France in 1998. And later on in 2012, it was recognized by French Ministry of National Education. It is an exam, of course, that seeks your French language linguistic proficiency. How well do you speak the language? How well do you write the language? Next, one of the recognized proficiency examination in Canada, not only in fact in Canada and in France, but in a lot of other Francophone countries. By Francophone countries, I mean that all the countries where this language, French language, is the official language, where it's it's the official language. There it is considered to be one of the recognized proficiency examination. Next, we'll look at why you should take the TEF examination. There are different, see, TEF examination is one examination depending upon what is your purpose. There are different, like for example, TEFAK is different, TCF is different, TCFQ is different, TCF, TCFQ, TEF, TEFAK, different depending upon what is your purpose of giving the examination changes. So number 1, it acts as an added benefit for anyone who wants to study in France. By this, what do I mean? Let's say there is a person who is going to do his or her bachelor's degree in France. Now, if you're doing any course, any XYZ course in France, then also there are two options. Number 1, that program that you have applied for, that is a French taught program. Number 2, that program is an English taught program. Now, if that program is an English taught program, then of course you do not need this examination because your professors or your university doesn't require to know that you know the French language. Even if you know English language, it's okay, because your program that you're going to study, that is there in English. Now, if that program that you're applying for, that is a French taught program, then you will have to give this examination because they need to ensure that you can understand French in all the 4 aspects. Because even, if you understand the language, only then you will be able to understand the program that you're going for. Now, number 2, the people like you, I think all of you are here for immigration to Canada. Your purpose is immigration to Canada. So if you are applying for immigration to Canada, then it is one of the requirements, and it acts as an added benefit because you get your points, extra points, if you clear this examination with a good score. It is recognized internationally by employers and universities in France, not only in France, Canada, and other Francophone countries, and even other parts of the globe. Let's look at the next one. What are the different types of TEF examination? So I was telling you, different types of TEF examination, they vary according to what is your purpose. So your purpose changes and your examination also changes. So number 1, that is TEF for studies. If you want to study in France, then you give number 1 examination, which is TEF for studies. Number 2, TEF for naturalization. Now this is known as TEF ANF. This is basically for getting the French citizenship. If you're applying for French citizenship, then number 2 examination, which is TEF for naturalization. Number 3, if you want to have a resident card of France, then you give TEF for the resident card examination. Number 4, which you have to give, which mostly people are here for, that is TEF Canada examination if you are applying for Canadian immigration. Number 5, which is TEFAK. Now see, Canada is a huge country in which there are a lot of provinces. Major province where French is spoken, that is Quebec. Now, if you're applying out of whole Canada, if you want to immigrate only to the Quebec region, then you give TOEFL examination. Otherwise, if you give this examination, if you clear it, then you can immigrate only to this region, which is Quebec. Now, if you give TOEFL Canada examination, that opens up all the provinces of Canada, not only Quebec. Of course, you can immigrate to Quebec as well, but it opens up all the other provinces. So mostly people who apply for Canadian immigration, they give TOEFL Canada examination. Now, it is valid for 2 years from the date you take the test. I'll explain you this. See, just now I told you there are two broader categories. One is DELF, another is TOEFL. Now, major difference between these two examinations is that DELF doesn't have any expiry date in terms of its score. Now, if you compare it with IELTS, IELTS is for English. So for IELTS also, the score is valid for 2 years. Just like that, TOEFL examination score is valid for 2 years. After 2 years, your score will expire. However, if you give your DELF examination, of course, that has a different purpose. But then if you give your DELF examination, for that, you do not have, you do not have any expiry date for that. So these are the different types of TOEFL examination. Now I would be taking one by one in detail. So let's look at the first one, which is TOEFL for Studies in France. This particular examination you give if you are interested in studying in France. I told you if you're applying for any undergraduate program or let's say any master's degree over there, and if the examination is if the program that you have applied for is a French taught program, then they will require that you give this examination. Okay. Now see, if I talk about the broader category, which is TOEFL, not the subcategories, I'm just talking about the TOEFL examination. There are 5 examinations there are 5 parts of TOEFL examination. Number 1 is expression écrite. Expression écrite is your written test, writing skills. Okay. Number 2 is expression orale, which is your speaking test. It's a viva kind of a thing. It's a speaking test. Next is compréhension écrite, which is your reading portion. There would be short passages. You need to read that, and then there are a set of questions which you need to reply to. And then you have compréhension orale, which is your listening test, and the 5th paper, which is your glossary and structure. So there you have, questions which are related to grammar, questions which are related to vocabulary. So that's your 5th paper. So listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And the 5th paper is glossary and structure. So here, if you are applying for studies in France, there are 4 sections which are compulsory. 5th paper, you do not need to give. So according to your purpose, according to the examination that you're giving, you do not have to give 5 papers, all the 5 papers, each time. So if you're applying for TOEFL for Studies in France, then you need to give 4 sections, 4 papers, which is oral comprehension, reading comprehension, written expression, and glossary and structure. The 5th paper, which is left, that you do not need to appear for. Number 2, which is TOEFL for naturalization. Now, if you are aiming to become a French citizen, or if you're aiming to have a French passport, in that case, you give this examination, which is TOEFL for naturalization. Of course, it is recognized by the French ministry. Here you have 2 necessary tests, which you have to give: oral comprehension and oral expression, which is listening and speaking. All other examination you do not need to give, because these 2 are the necessary tests that you have to give. Now, number 3, which is TOEFL for resident card. The people who are aiming to get the resident card from the French government, they give this examination. Here you have 4 mandatory tests. Now see, these days, especially after COVID, you do not have the TOEFL examination, which is pen and paper based. It's no more pen and paper based. It is e-TOEFL now. By e-TOEFL, what do I mean? That your examination is a computer based examination. So you have to type it on the computer. You do not have to. It's no longer a pen paper based test. So 4 mandatory tests which you have to give: written comprehension, oral comprehension, written expression, oral expression. So basically, all the 3 tests, these 3 tests, written expression, oral comprehension, basically listening, reading, and writing. These 3 tests which you have to appear for, they are computer based examination. And the oral expression, which is your speaking test, that cannot be a computer based examination. So that is the face-to-face examination with your examiner. Okay. Now, this particular examination, TEF or resident card, is equivalent to DELF A2. By this, what do I mean? See, if you give your DELF examination, or I should not even say DELF examination, I should say in French language, you have 6 levels, starting from A1, moving to A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. A1 being the most basic one, C2 being the native speaker, which is just like a native speaker, so it is the most advanced one. So we start from A2, moving on to, we start from A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. So A2 is the second level. So this particular TEF or resident card, this is equivalent to your DELF A2. This is equivalent to your second level of French, which is A2. So not that difficult. Okay. Now, this is important. TEF Canada. If you're applying for Canadian immigration, then you need to give this examination, which is TEF Canada. Now, people who are seeking to immigrate to Canada and who are aiming to become the residents of Canada, they need to appear for this examination. What is the purpose? If you give this examination, you earn quite good points, some additional points. There are people who, because of their age or maybe any XYZ factor, they're not able to score the points which are required for Canadian immigration, if you want to have a PR over there. So if they give this examination, that gives you a huge jump in terms of points. 4 modules out of 5, 4 modules are compulsory, which you have to give. The 5th examination, which you do not have to give. So what are the 4? Expression écrite, expression orale, compréhension écrite, et compréhension orale. Listening, speaking, reading, and writing, which you have to give. The 5th paper, which is glossary and structure, that you do not have to appear for if you're applying for Canadian immigration. Now, if you're applying for Canadian nationality, in that case, 2 sections are compulsory: listening comprehension and oral comprehension. But mostly people are here for Canadian immigration. So therefore, these 4 papers you need to appear for: listening, speaking, and reading and writing. Okay, now TEFAC. TEFAC, the full form for TEFAC is Test de évaluation du français adapté pour le Québec. Now, out of all the provinces, this particular examination is specifically for immigration to Quebec, not to whole Canada. If you want to, apply only for Quebec immigration, in that case, 2 modules are compulsory: listening comprehension and oral expression. That means listening and speaking. All other papers you do not have to give. Okay. Next, marking system of TEF Canada. Now, how many questions come? What is the marking system? What type of questions come, as in the closed-ended questions or the open-ended questions, that I'm going to guide you. So I told you 4 tests are mandatory: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Let's just begin with the reading comprehension, which is the reading test. Here you have short passages. You need to read the passage, and then there are a set of questions which you need to reply to. The good point about reading test and listening test in TEF Canada is that you do not have open-ended questions. That means all the questions that you're going to get is MCQ, multiple choice questions. You would have 4 choices, 4 or 5 choices you will have. Out of them, only 1 answer is correct. So that means, which makes it a little easier in the sense that you will have already the answers in front of you. You just have to listen, or maybe you just have to read it, and then you need to reply to the questions, of course. Now, in reading test, you have 50 questions. You get 60 minutes to reply to. That means you have 1 hour to reply to 50 questions. Now, all 50 questions, whatever you will be having, they would be varying from A1 to C2. You will have questions for A1 level as well, A2 level as well, B1, B2, C1, and C2. All the questions, and each question. Now, if you actually count it, 50 questions, you have 60 minutes, you have 300 points. So that means each question carries 6 marks. So let's say if you have 10, if you answer 10 questions correctly, you get 60 points. If you answer 20 questions correctly, you get 120 points. So whatever number of questions you're going to attempt, multiplied by 6, and that is your score. Next, listening comprehension. Listening comprehensions, you get 60 questions here. You get 40 minutes to reply to. There would be a recording. It is just like IELTS. There will be a recording playing. In the recording, you will have pauses to read the questions, and then you need to reply to the questions by listening, after listening to the audio which is being played. Approximately 40 to 45 minutes it takes. 360 points again. So 60 questions, 360 points. So that means each question is for 6 points. It is an MCQ based examination again. MCQ based part again. So reading and listening, you do not have any open-ended questions. It is an open MCQ based examination. Next, the written expression, which tests you on the writing skills. Here you have 60 minutes. 2 topics are given to handle. The first topic which you get is, basically you have a line, a phrase that they would be giving you that is extracted from a newspaper article. Okay, so let's say I would say that in English. Yesterday, a child was found at the metro station and he was crying. You need to complete it according to your imagination. You have to consider yourself a journalist and you have to complete that article according to your imagination. In about 100, so they say minimum is 80 words. So around 100 to 120 words you need to write. Okay, that is number 1. Number 2 is a formal letter that you need to write. So they give you a statement. Let's say the statement is, it is not necessary to learn, or is it is not useful to learn a foreign language other than English. Express your opinion about it. You need to write the formal letter to a newspaper editor in about 200 words that they say, but I say around 250 to 300 words you need to write. So these are two subjects that they ask for in written expression. So you get 60 minutes. You are rewarded out of 450 points. I'm sorry. Okay, now the fourth one, which is your speaking test, it's an oral expression, expression oral. You get 2 topics again. 15 minutes, it lasts about 15 to 20 minutes, depending upon the candidate. Again, you're rewarded out of 450 points. First topic that you get is, you have seen any newspaper advertisement and you have to call the person who has published that article, or maybe ad, or maybe any classified ad. And you need to call the person and ask different questions about that ad. You are interested in that ad, you are interested in that post or whatever, and you need to call the person and ask more information about it. Number 2 is, you have seen an ad, or maybe the examiner will give you an article. You have to read that article and you need to present. First of all, you need, basically the first topic that you get is a formal conversation, and the second one is an informal conversation. So your examiner will play the role of your friend or maybe any of your family member that you have to convince. Let's say you saw an ad in the newspaper for a tour which is being organized by any XYZ company to Canada, and now you want to convince your sister for that she comes with you. So the second question is about convincing any of the person whom you know. So it's an informal conversation. So these are the 4 tests that you need to appear for. Now, the good point about TEF starting from 2016 is that there is no negative marking in TEF. As in, previously, before 2016, for each incorrect answer, you used to get -1. Now, starting from 29 February 2016, they have removed this negative marking for TEF. That means even if you answer it incorrectly, you will get a 0. You leave it, then also you get a 0. If you answer it incorrectly, then also you get it 0. So without having a fear of negative marking, you can attempt all the questions. So that's a good point for you. Next, TCF. So mostly there are a lot of people who ask us what is the difference between TEF and TCF examination. So here I go about it. TCF, first of all, the full form of TCF is Test de connaissance du français. See, goal-wise, purpose-wise, there is no difference between TEF and TCF. Both examination students give for Canadian immigration. So as such, Goal and purpose wise, there is no difference. It has the same pattern. There are four, four examinations. If you're applying for TEF, Canadian immigration, then there are 4 sections that you need to appear for: listening, speaking, reading, and writing, just like TEF, and in TCF also. So these are 2 different examinations having the same pattern, having the same goal. However, there is a little difference in terms of questions. Like, for example, in writing skills, in TEF, you get 2 topics. However, in TCF, you get 3 topics. So there is a little difference in terms of marking. There is a little difference in terms of number of questions do you get. But goal-wise, they both are exactly the same examinations. If you want to apply for your Canadian immigration, you can give TEF or TCF, doesn't matter. Okay. Now, just like TEF, you have 5 different types of TCF also on the same pattern. Number 1, TCF for personal, academic, or professional reasons. Number 2, if you are applying for, if you want to study in France, then this is TCF DAP. Just like there you have TEF ANP. Here you have TCF DAP. Now, number 3 is TCF for French nationality. If you want to settle in France, then you give this examination, TCF. Number 4 is TCF Canada. There it was TEF Canada. Here you have TCF Canada. For permanent residence, PR in Canada, if you want to apply for. And there you had TEFAC for Quebec region, for Quebec province. If you want to apply for the immigration only for the Quebec region, then you give that examination. And here it is TCFQ, that is TCF for Quebec region. So both of them are equivalent. So I would again like to say that these 2 examinations, TEF and TCF, in terms of goals, in terms of purpose, they do not have any difference. The only difference is in terms of maybe, in terms of number of questions, in terms of marking, and in terms of marking, in terms of number of questions, in terms of style of questions that you get. Apart from that, goal and purpose both are same. Now, the next question which people ask me, that is, what is the difference between DELF and TEF examination? Okay, listen to me very carefully. Now, see, I told you there are 6 levels of French: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. For DELF, you have 6 different examinations: DELF A1, DELF A2, DELF B1, DELF B2. For C1 and C2, you do not refer to them as DELF, you call them DALF. So DELF A1, DELF A2, DELF B1, DELF B2, and DALF C1, DALF C2. So there is nothing like DELF C1. So you say DALF C1 and DALF C2. So today, if you feel that you are ready with your A1 level, so tomorrow you go, you register yourself for DELF A1, you get your certificate. So that way you know that you have your DELF A1 certificate, you know you are at least at A1 level. Tomorrow, if you feel that you are ready for your A2 examination, you go, you register yourself for DELF A2, similarly for DELF B1, similarly for DELF B2, C1, and C2, which is completely different to TEF examination. TEF is a single test for all the levels. So there is nothing like TEF A1. There is nothing like TEF A2. So you have single examination, TEF or TCF, you have single examination in which you will get questions of all the levels. Depending upon what type of questions do you attempt, how many questions do you attempt, the examiner rewards you your level. So that means you cannot decide that today you are at A1 level or tomorrow you are at A2 level. So another difference between DELF and TEF is that the validity of TEF or TCF is 2 years, whereas the validity of DELF or DALF never expires. In the sense, there is nothing like expiry date of DELF or DALF, but for TEF and TCF, the validity is 2 years. But if you want to apply for your Canadian immigration, you do not have to give DELF. Then the examination that you have to give is TEF or TCF, not DELF. DELF is generally for the people who apply for, maybe for the job opportunities. For that, let's say if you are applying for any job opportunity in India, so then you give your DELF examination. TEF is specifically for Canada. Now, if you want to give your TEF or TCF examination, if you feel that you are prepared for it, what are the different centers who conduct this examination? So in India and even in abroad, Yeah, there is a network of Alliance Française. So even in India, in major cities, you have Alliance Française everywhere, like Alliance Française, the Delhi you have, in Mumbai you have, in Bhopal you have, in Ahmedabad you have, in Chennai you have, so in Chandigarh you have. So in major cities, you will find Alliance Française. In most of the Alliance Française, they conduct TEF or TCF examination, depending upon which center conducts which examination. So if I talk about Alliance Française, the Delhi, it does not conduct TEF examination, it conducts TCF. If I talk about Chandigarh branch, it conducts TEF examination. If I talk about the Bhopal one, it conducts TEF examination. I'm not sure about the TCF, but yes, it conducts TEF examination. If I talk about the Mumbai, then it conducts TEF examination. So depending upon in which city you are, you need to call the front desk of Alliance Française of whatever city you are in. You need to call their front desk and you need to ask them, do you conduct this examination? If you conduct, what is, what are the dates available? The next is date available, what is the fees? Because fees also varies from center to center. I would say in India, the fees varies between 15,000 to 25,000, depending upon the center, depending upon the country, also depending upon how many papers you want to give. Okay, so generally, in very broad terms, I'm saying generally it is somewhere around 5,000 per paper. So let's say if I talk about the Bombay branch, if you see their website, for Canadian immigration, you have to appear for 4 tests. So it is 20,400, if I'm not wrong. If you apply in the Bhopal one, then it is 24,600 for all the 4 papers. So it really depends. It varies between 15,000 to 25,000, depending upon the center, depending upon the number of papers you want to give. So, yeah. Next. This is something which I would be showing you the live demonstration. How many points you can earn for Canadian PR? Okay, so there is a question which is coming up. Nikhil says, I recently moved to Quebec. I wanted to join your January program, but because of time zone difference, it does not suit me. What are the other options for me? Nikhil, just be with me till the end. I would take up this question at the end. Cool. I would be answering all your questions there. So now I would be showing you live demonstration of how many points you can earn and which level would reward you how many points. So let's just look at the live demonstration of this. Now this is the official website. The next question which is coming up is TEF Canada applicable in Quebec also? Yes. If you're giving TEF Canada, it is please do not put up any questions as of now, because all the questions I would be taking at the end. Okay, Sunil, I'm answering your questions right now. So if you're giving TEF Canada examination, that is applicable to all the provinces. However, if you are giving only TEFAC, that is applicable only to the Quebec region. Okay. Now, let's just look at this website, which is the official website from Government of Canada. Here you can calculate actually your CRS score. CRS score is the score which is required. You require X score or Y score for your Canadian immigration when you apply for that. So CRS is comprehensive ranking system. Let's just look at it. On this website, it is very easy, very practical to calculate your score. I would be showing you that over here. Observe it very carefully. So there are a few questions which I'm just answering that might change according to you. What is your marital status? Is your spouse or common partner a citizen or permanent citizen of Canada? No. Will your spouse or common partner come with you Canada? Let's say no. How old are you? If you plan to complete your express entry, if you are invited to apply, no, I'm not invited to apply. If you plan to complete an express entry profile, enter your current age. So let's say I'm entering my age, I'm 30 years. What is your level of education? So in my case, that is master's degree. So I am just entering master's degree. Have you earned a Canadian degree diploma? No, I don't have. I'm sorry. No. Okay, next, official languages. So are your test results Less than 2 years old? Of course, yes. Which language test did you take for the first official language? So let's say I'm writing for IELTS. So for IELTS, I'm just selecting the highest score, whatever, because it doesn't interest us. You can select your score. Okay. Do you have any other language test results? Yes. So let's say I am applying for, I would be writing for TEF Canada. Okay. Now, I would be showing you another website, which is this one. Now, on this website, we will be actually mapping the score and the level. Okay. So look at this. You have 4 sections: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. So for the moment, let's just select the lowest score possible. I'm selecting the lowest score. Yeah. Work experience in the last 10 years. How many years of skilled work experience in Canada do you have? None or less than. I'm sorry. The next. In the last 10 years, how many total years of foreign skilled experience do you have? Let's say none. Do you have a certificate of qualification from a Canadian province? Let's say no. Valid job offer? That can be yes, that can be no. For the moment, I'm just saying no. Do you have any nomination certificate from a province or territory? No. Do you or your spouse or common law partner have at least one brother or sister living? No. And then you will calculate your score. Okay. The score that you have is 376 because in first official language, that is IELTS, you got 136. But in second official language, since I've selected the lowest scores, that means you do not get any points for the French language because you have scored very low in that. Now I would be showing you the mapping. Just remember, the score is 376. Now I would be changing it. This is for TEF Canada. Now let's see speaking. Speaking would be expression orale. Let's look at one. I would be mapping one, and other 4 you can map yourself. See, the lowest score was 0 to 180. So 0 to 180, that is somewhere that you are at A1 or A2 level. So here, speaking test, I'm just showing you for one. All other 3, you can map it yourself here. Okay. So yeah. So 0 to 180, that means you're at A1 or A2 level. Let's just move one step ahead. So that is 181 to 225. So here, if you see 181 to 225, in listening also we'll move one step ahead, and one step ahead. If you move one step ahead, that means you are at B1 level. So basically you have 2 levels in B1 also. B1 level, this is B1 and this is B1 plus. This is B2 and this is B2 plus. So it's just like that. So I have moved one step ahead, that is at B1 level. I'm at B1 level. I'll calculate the score once again. Let's see what is the difference that I got. Again, for second official language, no points. So 376, it is 376 right now also. Let's just move one step again ahead of this. Yeah, here it is. So that means in speaking, 226 to 270. If you score somewhere in 226 to 270, that means third from the last. Third from the last. Third from the last. And third from the last. I've selected third from the last, so that means you are at B1 plus level. I will calculate the score once again. So earlier the score was 376. Now the score increased to 380. Yeah, so that means for second official language, you have scored 4 points. Now I'll tell you how this score is calculated for. So listening, speaking, reading, and writing, if you are at B1 level, then you get 1 point each, 1, 1, 1, and 1. So total, it makes it 4. So that is why from 376, it increased to 380. Okay, if you are at B1 plus level. Now let's just move one step again ahead. You are now at B2 level. That means at this level, 271 to 309. Speaking, here it is, fourth level from below. Here it is, and fourth level from below. Again, I would calculate the score. The latest score was 380, and which remained 380. Again, there's no difference. So that means if you are at this level or this level, doesn't make any difference in terms of points. Let's move one step again ahead, where you are at B2 plus level. That means 310 to 348. Okay. All the score, fifth one from below. Here it is. Here it is. So now we'll calculate the score again. It was 380 earlier, which increased to 388. I'm sorry, actually, it was this. I was just looking at the previous score. The total was this. If you drag it down, the total is 488. So I'll tell you what the thing was. Here, for second official language, if you have B2 plus level, if you are at B2 plus level, that means if you are at a score of CLB 7, this is CLB score, or you can also call it NCLC level, that is 7, then how many points do you get? See, 12 points you get. That means listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So 12 you get. How come? 3, 3, 3, and 3. You got 3, 3, 3, 4, 3 each. So that is 12 points you got if you are at CLB 7 level, if you are at a B2 plus level. But now there is one thing which makes a considerable difference over here, and that is if you are at B2 plus level, if you have a score of CLB or NCLC 7 level, then you get 50 additional points, which you do not get if you are at CLB 6 level or 5 or 4, or see, here you will get 0. Here you will again get 0. Here you will get 4 points. Here you will get 4 points. 4 points, but you will not get 50 additional points. 50 additional points you only get when you are at CLB 7 level. So if you are at a CLB 8 level, or maybe 9 or 10 or 11 or 12, those 50 additional points you will get only then. But if you are at 9 or 10 level, then this score also increases. This score also increases. Like previously it was 1, 1, 1, and 1. Now if you are at CLB 7 level, then it is 3, 3, 3, and 3. If you are at, let's say C1 or C2 level, then it also increases. But then additional points that you get, that is 50 points. Purnima says, how much at 6? If you are at CLB 6 level, then you get 4 points. 4 points, but you do not get those 50 additional points. You just get 4. However, if you are at CLB 7 level, then you get 50 plus 12. So there would be an increase of 62 points. Okay. Yeah. So that makes a considerable difference. So that was the live demonstration. How does it change? So if you get CLB 7, then you get 12 points, 3 points each for listening, speaking, reading, and writing, and 50 additional points. So in total, it is a jump of 62 points. Cool. Anyone who did not understand, have you understood? Just let me know in the chat section. Have you understood the system of CLB and how does it increase? Just type yes in case you have understood. So Aarti says how total came out to be 488. So dear, actually previously when I was checking this score. However, this was not the score. the score was this. I should have dragged down this, the total score was this. So if I show you, that was not 376, I was showing you 376, no? It was not 376. I'll show you what was actually the score. I will come to the lowest possible score, and then we'll show you. Calculate the score. So it wasn't 376, it was actually 426. So from 426, it got increased to 488 or whatever the score was. So if in 426, you can add 50 plus 12 points, 62 points. Pratmesh says, can you please explain? No, dear, I cannot explain again, but recording of this will be available on YouTube by tonight or maybe by tomorrow morning. So you can watch it again. Okay, now this was how many points you can earn. Next. How long does it take to clear TEF or TCF? So see, of course, I would say that major jump occurs only when you score a CLB 7. If anything lesser than that, you would not gain those 50 points extra. So your goal is at least that you should have a score of CLB 7 in any of these examination, TEFAC or TSEFQ or TEF or TCF examination. So CLB 7 out of A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 and C2, CLB 7 is more or less equivalent to your B2 level. Okay. Generally, what the website says is it takes about 200 to 250 hours of classroom studies. And usually it takes about 1 year. That is what the website suggests. And which is true. It generally takes about that time. Next question, why am I qualified to train you? We have different programs we have a program for TEF Canadian immigration. I mean, if you want to prepare for this examination, we have different programs. So number one is, why am I qualified to train you? Because I am qualified with DALF C1 from Alliance Française de Delhi. And I also cleared my DALF C2 from Alliance Française de Paris, from Paris. Also, I have my post-graduation degree in French. I have MA in French from Delhi University, from GRS department, Germanic and Romance Studies department from Delhi University. Then I've taken my French language training from LSI Paris. It's an institute in Paris. I've taken my French language training from them. What is my experience? I've trained more than 8,000 students from 25 plus countries. We have students from almost all the countries, Singapore, Malaysia, we have Dubai, so many countries we have students from. I am India's most followed French language trainer, and the proof for that is, if you see my YouTube channel, I have a followership of 180,000, 180,000 subscribers base. Also, I've trained more than 500 TEF candidates in the last 4 years. And we have collaboration with India's most prestigious schools and colleges. A lot of people keep asking us, can you share the success stories, the testimonials of people? So see, we train so many people. So I cannot post the interview with each and every student, that I cannot do. But we have posted, I'll show you. We recently posted an interview with one of the students who, voila. So I recently posted the success story of TEF examination. This was a person who stays in Dubai, who used to stay in Dubai. Now he is in Montreal. So who cleared his TEF examination after studying with me. So it's a very good interview. People who are thinking to join with me, I would suggest them that they watch this webinar. He has provided a lot of tips and tricks to clear this examination, what type of questions come, so for that. Next question. Yeah, okay. So the next is details of our upcoming batch for TEF or TCF examination preparation. Now, for all those who are interested in knowing about our program, they can stay with us. There are people who do not wish to do that. It is your wish. I mean, you can leave if you want. Now, the start date for the next upcoming batch is 9th of January 2022. That's a Sunday. I'm going to start my next batch then. Be with me, listen to me very, very carefully. Now, how would be the classes? The classes would be thrice a week, 2 hours each. So the classes are principally on Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thrice a week, 2 hours each, wherein I teach you. Okay. The total duration is 108 hours, which we say to be very tentative. It stretches up to 140 hours, 150 hours. That is, and that is depending upon if I feel that my course is not done, my students require more time. So we generally stretch it up to 6 months, 6.5 months. That completely depends, but this is a tentative time that we give. Okay. Another thing, this has been something which is recently added from last 2 to 3 batches, that apart from classes thrice a week, I have introduced one more class that is especially a speaking class that is going to take place on Wednesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. So Thursday, the timings are going to be 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, it is going to be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. IST. This is all Indian, according to Indian time zones. And the speaking class that I'm going to take place, that is on Wednesday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. Now I'll explain you how does the speaking class take place. So basically, let's say there are 50 students in the class. What do? We make groups of 2. So if we make groups of 2, that means there are 25 groups. Each week, we assign them a situation depending upon what topic have I taught in the previous class. Let's say in the first class, generally I teach you salutations. How do you greet the person? So the topic that I'm going to give you for the dialogue conversation, that is going to be related to that. Okay. You need to prepare with your partner. You need to prepare that particular situation with your partner and present in the speaking class on Wednesday. Okay. Next, the classes are going to cover all the 4 sections: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. I'm going to prepare you for all the sections. Next, all the study material is provided by us. What do I mean by that? Whatever books we are going to follow, e-books we are going to provide you. However, if you want to buy the physical copy of the book, that is your choice. That they are available, easily available on Amazon. You can purchase it from there. Okay. Now, I'm going to explain you what is my agenda of teaching. So people who are aiming to join with me on the next batch, 9th of January, do not have to join in the month of January. The people who join with us for any batch, they need to join with us at least 1.5 to 2 months in advance. What is the objective behind it? The objective is, okay. So I have got 3 websites. One is tef.thinkific.com. Another is learnfrenchbysuchita.com. Another is learnfrenchbysuchita.thinkific.com. So I'm going to tell you, because, why do you need to join 1.5 to 2 months in advance? Because there are certain prerequisites which are required. This is not for beginners. This is specifically for the people who know at least A1 level of the language. By this, I do not mean that I am not going to start from beginning. When you join on 9th of January, I'm going to start from beginning. But once you have a baggage of knowledge with you, it becomes easier for you, because A1, I have to do it in 1 month. It is a fast track course. It is not a normal course. It is a fast track course, which will also require you to devote at least 3 hours of daily studies. If you can do that, see, people ask me that, on the official website, it's written that you need to devote 200 to 250 hours. How are you doing it in 6 months? How is it really possible to do it in 6 months? So what I say, first of all, it is not 6 months. We say 6 months of live classes, but 2 months you require for the prerequisites to do. Number 2, prerequisites that I already told you. And also you need to devote 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours of your daily self-study. That daily self-study that time would go in the homework that I give, in the listening exercises that you need to do, in the speaking, the dialogue conversation that I'm going to tell you, that time would go even in that. So if you can devote that much time, then only join the program. See, you cannot get everything. If you want to do something in a shorter duration, you will have to double up, maybe triple your efforts. Okay. So I would be telling you what are the prerequisites. If you go to this website, which is learnfrenchbysuchita.thinkific.com, there are 3 courses which are there, which are our paid courses. Okay. But if you are applying for this particular program with us, then these 3 courses you get as complimentary. Okay. The validity of these courses is not lifetime. I'm telling you in advance, the validity of these 3 courses is till the time you are part of the batch. Okay. So these 3 courses you need to do. So basically, if you're joining with us, then this is the course that you need to start with. Okay, French speaking and communication. Now in this course, what do you have? Basically, you have different phonetics rules. When you studied English, then what was the case? You must have studied different phonetics. Like for example, the sound of CH. CH is ch. TION is shun. And that is why you know that, okay, NATION is nation. OPTION is option. How do you know that? Because you know the phonetics of the language. So all those phonetics rules and accents are covered in this course. This particular thing I do not take up in the class, in the live classes. So this is the course which is I would say, which is a prerequisite which you need to do. So this I do not take up. Number 2, which is French language beginners course. This thing, what you're going to do as a prerequisite, I am going to take up in the class. I'm going to start from very beginning. But if you have done the things beforehand, in advance, if you have done, it becomes really easier for you, at least for initial 1 month, to catch up, because I go really fast in initial 1 month. So yeah, these 2 courses principally are the prerequisites: French speaking and communication and beginners course. Now here you have 149 lessons, 149 videos which you need to watch. So of course that would require time. So that is why we say join at least 1.5 to 2 months in advance. There are people who join us, let's say the batch begins on 9th of January. People will say, we want to join this batch only, we don't have time, I did not see your courses then, but now it is really important for us to join. The thing is, you can join, that is your wish, but you won't be able to do the prerequisites, which is really important. Okay, so this course and this course. Then what about this course? This course you do not need to do, although we will be providing you the access, but you do not need to do. Why? Because all the videos which are there in this course, they're already there in the beginners course. So if you do the beginners course thoroughly, grammar course will automatically be covered. So principally, you have to do 2 courses as prerequisite: French speaking and communication or beginners course. So the course that you're going to apply for with me has the payment, has the charges as 44,999 rupees, which has increased. So earlier it was 40,000 till September batch. The latest batch which I have begun is 40,000. And in the previous webinar only, I had announced that starting from January, starting from the next batch, there is going to be the hike, because since last 3-4 years, the fees is quite constant. I have never changed it. This is the first time that I've changed the fees from 40,000 to 44,999. So this is the fees that you have to pay. But if you are paying that fees, that doesn't mean that you have to pay for all other complimentary courses that we are going to provide you. You do not have to pay for that. Okay, all these courses we are going to provide you. Okay, so this is the website. Now, number 2, that is I'm sorry, this is step.thinkific.com. If you go here, go to all courses. Along with, I'm sorry, just give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. So on tef.thinkific.com, if you see, there are different courses. Like these are the recordings of TEF January batch 2021, which I began. This is for the March batch. This is for the June batch. And if you see on learnfrenchbysuchita.com, if you go to all courses, here you will find the recordings for TEF September batch. So what you also get along with this, you also get the recorded version of all the previous batch recordings. So until now, we have given for the January batch. If you join with us for the month of for the month of January 2022, you will get the recordings of TEF March 2021 batch, so that the 2 months that you have initially, if you are done with your beginners course, if you're done with your phonetics course, then you can move to even this one. Okay. Another thing, so you get also the recordings of your present batch. See, there are people, just now there was a question also I was seeing in the chat section, that the time zones, they do not suit me. Of course, there is nothing better than if you can join the live class where you can express yourself, where you can speak, where you can actually attend the class, where you can read. I give you opportunities to read also. There's nothing like that. But out of, let's say, if I want to take 70 sessions with you, or let's say 60 sessions with you, out of those sessions, if you're unable to attend 10 classes, or let's say 5 classes because of any medical emergency or any emergency that you have, so we provide you with the recordings of your present batch also. All the recordings, whether you're absent, whether you're present, that doesn't matter to us. We are going to provide you with the recordings of the present batch as well, so that in case you miss the batch, you miss the class, you can catch up with the recording and you do not feel anything missed. So basically, what 3 things do you get? You will get the video lectures on the website, which is learnfrenchbysuchita.thinkific.com. You will get the phonetics course, you will get the grammar course, and you will get the beginners course. That is worth rupees 19,997. Number 2, you get all the recordings of previous TEF batch, that is for 19,999. And you also get the recordings of your current batch, the batch which you will be the part of. You also get that. Now coming on to the validity. The validity of these, the beginners course, the phonetics course, the grammar course would be till the time you are part of the batch. The validity of the previous TEF batch recordings would be again till the time you are the part of the batch, starting from today, starting from the moment you're going to pay the fees. However, the recordings of your current TEF batch, preparation batch, would be there with you till 1 year. So let's say you will be joining 9th January. So you will have the recordings of your own current batch for 1 year. So this is regarding the validity. All these things you will be getting. Apart from that, any assistance required if you want to apply for the examination, any assistance required in that, you will get access to that as well. Of course, you also get a practice and accountability partner. That means one person would always be there with you, in the sense, I told you, if you are 50 people in the batch, let's say, in the latest batch, we have 54 people, 54 or 55, I think 55 people, yeah. So we make groups of 2. When we make groups of 2, you will have a partner with whom you can do your speaking practices, okay? So who all should join the batch? All those people who are preparing for French TEF, TCF, TCFQ examination for Canadian immigration, they can join the batch. People who are aiming to shift to any Francophone country, not just Canada, any other Francophone country, they can join the batch. The people who are aiming to learn the French language starting from beginner till advanced level in a shorter duration of time, they can also join this batch. And the people who are aiming to make career in this language, maybe who are aiming to become a French language trainer like me, they can also join the batch. Now, the next thing would be a Q&A session. But before that, I would like to tell you on what link can you do the payment. Also, there are people who ask us, will there be any? Yeah, this is the link where you can pay the fees. So the fees is 44,999 plus 2% of the transactional fees, which Razorpay charges from us. If you do not want to pay that 2% extra, there is a number that I'm giving you, which you maybe already know it. Just WhatsApp Megha on the same number. She is my manager. Yeah, that's the number. You can message her. Do not call her. Just message her on WhatsApp. She would be giving you NEFT details. You can do an NEFT of 44,999. In the case you're doing an NEFT, you do not need to pay 2% extra transactional charges. Now, another thing which people ask us, that do you offer installment options? For installment options, you have options of paying in 2 installments. 50% has to be paid right now, after which you will get the access to these 3 courses. These 3 courses you will get the access. Yeah, beginners course, complete grammar, and French language speaking and communication course, because these 2 courses are the prerequisites which you need to do. So after you pay the first installment, you will get access to these 3 courses. When you clear your second installment, you will also get the access to previous TEF batch recordings. Also, how the 2 installment has to be paid. In case you're paying in installments, then this link which I've provided you for the Razorpay, that will not work. You will have to do an NEFT or Google Pay or Phone Pay, whatever. We'll provide you all the details for that. Just message Megha again on the same number. She will provide you the details. Number 2 is, how those 2 installments have to be paid. So 44,999. 2 installments would be 22,500 and 22,500. 2 installments, 50% and 50%. 50% has to be paid right now, after which you will get access to these 3 courses. 50% has to be cleared by the end of December, because our batch begins in the month of January. So both the installments have to be cleared before that. So by the end of December, you will get the reminder from us that now it is the time for you to pay the second installment. So that's it from my end. Now is the time for Q&A session. Please drop in your questions, whatever you have now. Go ahead. I have done a level B1 from Alliance Française, and I want to take just the TEF preparation classes with you. Is that possible? If yes, what is the schedule and fees? Sukhmani, it is not possible. If you have still done your B1 level or any level, if you are at A1 or A2 or B1 or B2, any level, with us, you will have to start from beginning only. Okay, so that is not possible. Which is easier, TEF Canada or TEFAC? Nothing is as such easier. See, according to me, I feel that, you know, TEFAC, in TEFAC, you just 4 out of 4, you have 2 mandatory tests, which is speaking and which is listening. But according to me, when you learn a language, all 4 things go hand in hand. In the sense, if you don't know how to write a language, how would you know how to listen a language? So you have to learn a language in all the 4 aspects. Doesn't matter, you have to appear for 2 tests or 4 tests. So it is nothing like TEF Canada is easier or TEFAC is easier. Same question for me. I have taken classes till B2 level. Rohit, with us, we do not have this option of joining only TEF preparation classes. Saran says, what would be the duration of the exam? Is it happening every month? That again depends from center to center. So like I would be telling you, Alliance Française de Bhopal, I know that it conducts examination every month. Then it really depends from center to center. In Mumbai also, they conduct it every month. So you will have to call the front desk of the center that you want to appear in. You need to ask them. Okay. Duration of the exam is basically, it happens in 1 day only. Generally, the reporting time is about 9:30 a.m. and by 4:30 p.m. or 5 p.m. you are free. So in 1 day, you have all the 4 tests. Could you please suggest preliminary some textbooks? Yes, Ayan, if you are joining with us, then along with the the prerequisite courses, we also give you the access to the ebooks, which I follow in the class. Aarti says, just give me a second. Please confirm total number of hours recorded for 3 courses being offered. Total number of hours, see, that I cannot tell you, but I can tell you here in this French speaking communication, you have 28 lessons, and here you have 149 lessons. So generally each video is about, depending upon the topic, it is about 15 to 20 minutes. That can be 10 minutes also, that can be 5 minutes also. So for, I would say the duration ranges from 5 minutes to 20 minutes. So I cannot tell you exact number of hours, the duration of that, but you know, apart from watching the video, you also need to practice that particular topic. So duration as such, I cannot tell you. I want to attempt both the examination, TEF Canada as well as TEFAC. maximize it. So Sunil says, I want to attempt both the examination, TEF Canada as well as TEFAC to enhance my options. All right, that's good. Nikesh, he says, I am professional software engineer and have 7 years of IT experience and just want to take a job in Canada. Take a job in Canada. See, dear, if you want to take specifically for Canada, I would say TEF is the better option, because TEF is specifically for Canada, and if you give your TEF, it not just helps you in your Canadian immigration, but it also generates the employment opportunities for you. Nitika says, ma'am, till Jan, what are the methods to improve basic knowledge? Can we listen to some videos which are meant for beginners with subtitles? Nitika, I would say if you are joining with us, then already these two courses which you have to do, the beginners course and the phonetics course, they are actually the hectic courses. You will if you do it properly, you will barely be able to finish those two courses. But yes, if you want to improve the listening, then just message Megha. She would tell you the names of certain YouTube channels which you can follow. Okay. Are there only 2 centers for TEF Canada? No, dear. For TEF Canada, there are so many: Chandigarh, Chennai, Bhopal, Bombay, so many other centers. If you want to appear for TEF Canada, could you, Mohita says, could you please tell me about the expression écrite? How can we score higher marks in expression écrite? Dear, I cannot tell you over here. You will have to join classes for that, because that is something which is explanatory, and that is something which is very subjective. I don't know what kind of mistakes you are doing in your expression écrite, so can't really tell you over here. Deep says, hi. Hello, Deep. Pradeep, I'm an absolute beginner. I would like to pay in installments. Will I get ebooks immediately? Yes, dear. You will get the ebooks immediately if you are paying in installments also. Okay. Also, are the seat number fixed for this batch? So I would say seat number, we generally take about 50 students. 50 students is the threshold that I've kept for any batch, because if you have more number of students, the less efficient the batch becomes. So I don't want to keep 100 students or 80 students or 70 students in the batch. Okay. When is the deadline for the payment? There is no as such deadline. The moment we have 50 students in the batch, we stop the enrollments. Number 2 is there is no as such deadline. The earlier you enroll with us, the earlier you will get the access to all the recorded courses which you have to do in advance. So the later you enroll with us, it is a loss for you only. Now Rupal says, I've already enrolled with you, but Megha said ebooks not to be done now. Rupal, ebooks not to be done. See, ebooks you do not have to do, which are there at the end. At the end of the courses also, you have certain ebooks that you do not need to do. Basically, if you have joined with us, then as the classes proceed, we tell you that this book has to be treated in the sense that you need to consider this book. You need to consider this book. The next thing, Aarti says, will you be taking surprise assessments or pre-planned assessment? No, dear. Aarti, it is already a very hectic course. During that, I do not have time to take this assessments. No. Ayan says, although I would be practicing a lot of sample papers with you, but it will not be an assessment. You can do your self-evaluation according to how many correct answers do you have, that you can do it yourself, but I do not take it explicitly. Is 4 years enough to learn? Ayan, yes, of course, if 4 years are enough to learn. Aarti says mock test. No, dear, I do not take the mock test as such, but yes, I do it with you in the class. I solve a lot of sample papers with you in the class. Is the preparation for TEF for resident card any different from TEF Canada? No, dear. The preparation is same. So basically, the examination is TEF only. Out of 5 papers, you have to appear for different number of papers according to your purpose. But the examination is same in the sense, like for example, if you want to have a resident card for TEF, if you want to have, and second is if you are applying for Canadian immigration. Let's say for resident card, you need to appear for 2 examination, which is listening and speaking. And for TEF Canada, you need to appear for 4 examinations. Yeah. So those 2 examinations would be common. It's not like that for TEF Canada, there would be a different level, and for resident card, there would be a different level. It would be, preparation would be same only. Where is your coaching center? Anubhav, we do not have any coaching center. We give only online classes. Rupal says, can you tell more about TEF for resident card? Eligibility, etc. I've already given my DELF A2. Dear, for that, you have to call the front desk. Just tell them that I need to appear for the examination for TEF for resident card. When you give that examination, you will, if you get that A2 level, at least the A2 level, you can apply for your resident card of France. Next, Pradeep says, what about writing and speaking practice after the course? I told you. So for speaking practice, I've already told you, each week we will be conducting 1 class. That is on Wednesday. So each week you will have 1 hour class, 1 or 1.5 hour class for speaking practice. And for writing, that's a good question. So for writing, we give you 1 topic to write. Each week you will have 1 topic to write. That 1 topic individually, you have to mail it to me. And I do corrections for all the students individually. So each week you will have 1 topic to write and 1 topic for the speaking practice. Writing wise, you have to send me through email, and speaking, for that you have a different class on Wednesdays. Apart from that, is TEF or TEFAC different? I've already told you a lot of times, TEF and TEFAC, TEF Canada, you give the examination if you want to apply for immigration to any part of the Canada, of any province. But TEFAC, you give if you want to apply only for the Quebec immigration. Sunil says, like IELTS, is there any minimum score for any of the sections in TEF Canada? Minimum score, no. You need CLB 7 score at least in all the 4. So CLB 7 is the minimum score that you need in all the 4. So apart from that, if you get 7, CLB 7, CLB 7, CLB 7, and CLB 8, that is okay. Any higher is okay, but 7 is the minimum to get the 50 additional points. Any other question anyone has before we wrap up the session? Will Quebec also accept TEF also? Yes, dear Pradeep. If you're giving TEF Canada, that is applicable to all the parts of Canada, even Quebec. 7, 7, 7, and 6 is not acceptable. No, dear. 7 is the minimum that they ask for. Any higher is okay, lower is not okay. Anything else if you would like to ask? If not, if you would like to join any, the session with us, the latest session with us, then I've already provided you the link. If you want, I can again copy the link for you. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, that's the link. I'm going to copy for you. You can directly pay over here, and when you pay, just message Megha, just message a screenshot, just take a screenshot and send it to her. She'll provide you immediately the access to all the courses. If you're paying through installments, just ask her on the same. I've already provided you the WhatsApp number. Just message her. She'll provide you the NEFT details. So I'm mentioning the WhatsApp number once again. It's where it is. Just message her on WhatsApp. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for being there with me today. And have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.